Will he go down to Miami? Well, that's an interesting thing because Miami players have allegedly came out in an anonymous fashion with local Miami media and just buried Tua, basically.
Yeah.
Basically just said, like, you know what? We're not 100% sure about this guy. I think they all said that they liked him as a person. I don't think anybody's ever said they don't like Tua. But as a football player, I think there was a lot of questions, I guess, coming from the locker room. Couple quick things. Couple, if I may.
You may.
I don't like the anonymous answer. Okay? I've never liked it. This happened week 6 with the Cowboys with anonymous leaks. Now, granted, sometimes and this is in the sports world, please, so don't come at me with your bullshit. Well, you need anonymous sources for the safety of the person. Fuck you. Okay, I'm talking sports. Legit. Like I understand, but I understand sometimes anonymous sources can leak something to get a narrative spun to potentially work out and benefit in your fashion or in the franchise organization's fashion if you need something. So when the Dallas Cowboys were leaking information to media members about how bad the coaches were, it felt like the players were thinking to themselves, well, we got to change something. Nobody's going to listen to us, this whole thing. I was asked a couple times whenever I was in a locker room if I would do an anonymous poll or an anonymous thing. And I was like, anytime I say something, I think it might be good. I would like my name to be associated with it. Okay. Yeah. And that's not just me being like, oh, I hate like whenever people, it's me potentially being arrogant because I think my answer is going to be a good one. So I would like my name to be next to it. I would like a little bit of credit for this. But also, if you have an opinion, you should at least, people should know on the other side of your opinion that it's coming from you. So that's I don't love that the Dolphins players did these anonymous quotes or whatever and kind of buried a teammate. Because now what happens? Now Tua, let's say nothing happens this offseason, Tua goes back in there and, it's a little bit of an awkward situation because now Tua's staring at a room and it's almost like he's trying to figure out, he's trying to be an FBI profiler. He's trying to figure out who potentially gave the anonymous quotes about me sucking at football, and it's almost like, does he wear glasses? No. It's like a guess who game he's playing on, who he thinks potentially did the whole thing. But if this is something that you truly believe, and you saw B-Flow pull Tua in a moment where they needed to win and put Fitzmagic in there, it feels like the Dolphins are sitting at number 3 in the draft. They're probably taking a quarterback. And if the players are doing something and the coaches are doing something now, and it feels like the fans are even potentially no, they're not Gumpy. Gumpy's a big Dolphins fan. They are not on the side of Tua should not be the quarterback of the future.
The guy who wrote this article, Armando, he has been called into question before, Pat.
Oh, no. So you're saying he's potentially lying about the anonymous sources? He just made it up, which is, by the way, anytime you read something about an anonymous source, you have to potentially factor in the fact that the person that's writing it or saying it potentially pulled out of their ass and said, people are saying, because that's what we do on this show.
I mean, a lot of people also saying that we bash Tua. No one has bashed Tua here. All we said, if you can get Deshaun Watson, you get Deshaun Watson. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it feels like it. And we haven't bashed Tua. I haven't. Gumpy has, though. Gumpy has bashed Tua. Now that there's a potential bullshit, alleged anonymous source conversation happening about Tua stinking, basically, in the rest of the locker room, that's a wild time to be alive as well down there. The quarterback situations are very wild right now.
Yeah, I'd say that. And you might, we may be seeing the very beginnings of something like that happening, the Deshaun Tua situation, just because when you look around, what would be the best case scenario for both these guys? Well, Tua seems to be, there's a little bit of murmurs and anonymous sources, which is garbage sometimes, but still, I still have to take something into it. I don't think whoever reported it just made it up. But yeah, Deshaun, it seems like, I don't know how you fix what's going on right now in Houston. So good luck, whoever becomes the head coach there. It's going to be fun.
Casario might be like, well, since the way this whole thing's turned out, if I'm reading Twitter right, unlike Tone Diggs from the Pat McAfee Show, if I'm reading Twitter right, sure sounds like it's going to be tough for us to get a franchise quarterback in here. So if they're just going to give us Tua, Tua doesn't have any other option, right? He has to come here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that until this kind of all settles down. Let's do that. It's still wild to me to think that you're going to trade one of the best players in the NFL, though. That is a tough decision that I guess, that's what you get paid the big money to do, but that's a big-time move. No J.J. Watt, no Deshaun Watson next year. Houston Texans would be a much different organization.